Within the matrix of a marriage, it begs the question, are we preparing women for unprepared men? Who taught us how to be husbands? Who taught us how to prepare for our spouse in our house? I want to talk about the mindset of a marriage-minded man. Oh, this is going to be good, y'all. I'm mic'd up. Join me and let's mix it up. What's good people? How you doing? How you living? How's it going? What's happening? I hope you're doing well. Family, we got a good one today. I hope you're having a great day in a great way. I really do. Please hit the thumbs up button on this video. Come on, family. Hit the thumbs up button on this video. Hit the subscribe button. Yeah, we're going to have a courageous conversation. Welcome to our conversation about a marriage-minded man preparing for your purpose partner. Family, if you're ready, just type ready. Come on, family. If you're ready, just type ready. Let's go for show. Yeah. Glad to see you. Let's have this. Let's have a real courageous conversation. Because I believe for my dear brothers from another mother, for my kings out there. Come on, family, just type marriage-minded man. Type marriage-minded man. Come on, ladies, drop some crowns. Put some crowns in the chat. Come on, family, my brothers. Put some crowns, family. Put some crowns in the chat. Come on, let's do that as a matter of fact. Put some crowns in the chat. Very royal conversation, because I believe that God is preparing you to be a husband, my brother. God is preparing you to be a husband with a vision. God is preparing you to be a marriage-minded man who will love, who will respect, who will provide, who will protect his wife, spouse in his house. And I believe the question really speaks to this aspect. Who is preparing? Who is teaching our boys and men to be husbands? Did we really learn how to do that? It's plenty of workshops. Plenty of classes, plenty of sessions, plenty of Zooms, plenty of YouTubes, plenty of conferences, plenty of panels and podcasts on what women should do to become a great wife. But in many cases, what we're holding women to, are we aspiring to become as men? Who is preparing? Who is teaching our boys and men how to be husbands? Yeah, we do a great job of preparing women to be virtuous wives. However, who is teaching us as men how to be faithful husbands? And here's the question. Are we preparing women to marry men who aren't prepared for marriage? Are we preparing women for unprepared men? It's something to ponder about. It's something to give deep thought to. It's something to take into consideration. Because much of the relationship rules for dating, much of the relationship rules, much of the rhetoric as well for dating and marriage is all predicated to women. It's always directed to women. Since this is what you need to do. Since this is what you need to become. Since this is what you need to overcome. It's always directed to what women do. We ardently preach Proverbs chapter 31, verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? But very rarely, if at all, do you hear Proverbs chapter 20, verse 6 preached. We always talk about becoming that Proverbs 31 woman. Come on, family, type Proverbs 31. Proverbs 31. You can go on social media. You can scroll up and see somebody's page in their bio. They got Proverbs 31 in there. Proverbs 31 woman. Don't matter if they working or if they twerking. They got Proverbs 31 up there. You know it's real. You know I'm right. You know it's true. But very rarely do you hear somebody say, yeah, I'm a Proverbs 20 man. I'm a Proverbs 20 man. I've never seen it on somebody's social media bio. Never have. But I've seen that Proverbs 31. Because that's what we push. We push that. But I'm more English than math. But I can still count. 20 comes before 31. Much of that relationship rhetoric has been directed specifically to women. And here's the thing. I too, at some point in time in my life, had been an ambassador of that as well. Yeah, much of my rhetoric, some of my rhetoric was into that. But here's what I have grown. I have grown over the years. How we start or how we are in the middle is not always how we end. Growth. Come on, family, type growth. Make space. Give people grace for growth. And here's the thing. I recognize now more than ever before that there is a need for balance. I really do. When you're thinking about the relationship, marriage, matrix, I recognize the need for balance. I recognize the need to not beat each other up, but we got to lift each other up. I recognize the need because the statistics are suggesting that marriage is becoming something that is marred. People either, if they do it, they want to get out of it, much less, maybe they don't even want to explore it at all. What the research is saying is that black couples have the highest divorce rates in the United States this year alone, at 30%. Our Latinx brothers and sisters, Latino couples, 18%. White couples, 15%. Says this, according to the research, black women are the only group among other races with a number of divorces higher than the marriage rate. Black adults also make up the largest share of the never married group. %, of those 55 and above were never married. What is going on? What is taking place? We need each other. Think about this. As men, we can't hold women to a standard that we are not capable of attaining ourselves. And in many cases, you can argue that possibly the standard should be higher for us as men, more so than what it is that we perpetuate on women. Adam was created first. The man was created first. First doesn't necessarily mean best. First means that you are the most responsible. that you receive information first to where now thereby you pass that on to the rest. Just because you're first doesn't mean you're best. It means now that you're responsible for the rest. You're responsible to disseminate information. You're responsible for whoever comes after you. And here's the thing, oftentimes us as men, we're not marriage-minded men because we have filed for bankruptcy. I'm not talking about financially. I'm talking about filing for bankruptcy emotionally. Filed for bankruptcy psychologically and spiritually. All due to the delinquency of our respectability and our responsibility. But here's the thing, through it all, I still believe that God is calling single men. God is calling fathers. God is calling husbands. God is calling leaders. God is calling brothers to a greater standard, to a higher standard of accountability and authenticity. Why is that? Because then and only then can we gain respectability and harness our leadership ability. There is no respectability without responsibility. Here's what I realize. Us as brothers, we can't be savages through the streets and then expect our women just to stay home and be bookworms. Can't do it. We can't be the ones who keep our options open and then expect all women to keep their options closed. The onus that we place on her has to be placed on ourselves. Family, are you following me? Are you following me? Family, just type better together. Type better together. We are, despite what the statistics say. Despite what the numbers say, there is strength in numbers. And guess what? Those numbers are both of us being together. Energy, the synergy energy. Being able to understand that just because we're different doesn't mean we are deficient. Family, we're better together. I need you to thumbs up this live. Come on, hit the thumbs up button on this video. If you are not a member of our YouTube channel, you can do that right now. Come on, go ahead. Become a member of our YouTube channel. All you got to do is just tap the join button on the channel. You can unlock membership privileges such as VIP, royalty, OQP. Membership has its privileges. Join me in the Connor's Corner. That's where it is. Become a member. Join me in Connor's Corner. Information, instruction, inspiration. Things that I don't necessarily share here, I share there. It's not going to be on my social media page either. It's for members only. Membership has its privileges. If you're not a member of our YouTube channel, go ahead. Join that now. Also, if you're not a member of our Eagles community, I go further and farther than where I go in the coaching corner, in my Connor's Corner. Go further and farther than where I go right here. I'm on my whiteboard teaching. In my private group coaching. It's where I coach, it's where I teach, it's where I train, it's where I mentor. Yeah. Teaching what I don't teach here, I want you to join me there. Where's there? TheEaglesAcademy.com. When you get there, tap the join now button, fill out the form, be transformed. It's easy to be counterproductive as we're talking about marriage-minded man. Preparing for your purpose partner. Easy to be counterproductive. Easy to play the blame game. Especially if there was no father in your life. If you didn't have a great example of one. Because here's the thing. Just because Papa was a Rolling Stone doesn't mean you have to be. I was talking to a pastor, a friend of mine. He was saying, yeah, his father was a Rolling Stone. He said he went decades on end without seeing his dad. And one day he's out. His dad is out. His dad doesn't recognize the son, but he recognizes him as his dad. He said, hey, Dad. Dad finally recognized him and he said, how did you know it was me? Son replied, I looked in the mirror. I know I'm your spitting image. Yeah, Papa was a Rolling Stone, he said. He was a quiet man, but he had a lot of babies everywhere. And a lot of times because maybe our father was like that. Now we say, well, I might as well adopt that type of trait. I might as well adopt that type of behavior. I might as well live a life according to that particular low level versus focusing on our Father who art in heaven. You see what I'm saying? Just because Papa was a Rolling Stone doesn't mean you have to be. That generational curse, the intergenerational trauma of maybe alcoholism, maybe poverty or promiscuity or incarceration, irresponsibility, it may run in your family. However, as a man, it should run out with you. Why is that? Because we're born looking like our parents, but we live or die looking like our decisions. Gotta roll the stone away. Yeah, roll the stone away. Come on out of the cave. The cave of the little boy that was not healed. Come on out of the cave. That cave of the physical abuse, the cave of the verbal abuse. Come on out of the cave. Where it caused you to be suffering in silence. Where it caused you to hide what's inside. To where you felt you could never be greater than your old man. But I want you to focus on the renewed man. Family, just type a renewed man. A renewed man. Why is that? Because if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things passed away. Behold, all things have become new. And here's the thing. Our brothers are searching for true freedom. My brother who knows a brother. My brother got to understand. Iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. Your brother's struggling to maintain his character. Brother's struggling possibly with identity. Brother's faced with the pressures of life, striving to make sound decisions. We are all in this fight together. No one of us is greater than all of us. So what do we need? We need brothers with spiritual discernment. We need brothers who can pray. We need brothers who can prophesy. We need brothers who can declare. We need brothers who can lead. We need brothers who can succeed. We need brothers who are scholars. We need brothers who are mentors. We need brothers who are fathers. To address the myriad of issues that are going on in our homes and in our communities. We can't shy away from it. We have to address it head on, because here's the thing. Whatever you won't deal with will deal with you. If you don't deal with it, I guarantee you it's going to deal with you. We need brothers that are going to open up their arms. We need brothers who are going to open up their arms to the lost and assist, care for the least, the last, the lost, the left out, the overlooked, the underserved, and the underrepresented. Why? Because here's the thing. If you have come through a certain situation, if you have overcome, then what our mandate is to do, because every man has a mandate, we got to turn around. We got to help somebody else. We got to extend our hands to lift somebody else up. No, we may not necessarily be related biologically, but we are joined together spiritually. Family, type my brother's keeper. I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's protector. Can't be haughty, can't be high-minded. Got to put the arrogance and the pride and the ego aside. Despite if you have a trade, a CDL, or you've matriculated through the higher echelons of academia into a higher echelon of nobility, don't even matter. What matters is, what am I doing to help and improve somebody else's life? Here's where our confidence must be. Our confidence has to be in something greater than ourselves. Confidence has to be in the place that I've developed a particular foundation. No matter how serene or how stable life seems to be, I can't become lackadaisical when it comes to self-improvement. I can't become lackadaisical when it comes to preparation for the wife that God wants to bring in my life. I can't become lackadaisical when it comes to my children, or when it comes to your family, when it comes to your wife, when it comes to your marriage, when it comes to you doing what it is that you need to do. You got to remain vigilant. You got to be sober minded. You can't be comparing yourself to other people, because oftentimes as men, that is our kryptonite. As men, one of our greatest maladies, one of our greatest issues is that we're so competitive towards one another that here's what we fail to do. We fail to collaborate, and we fail to strengthen one another. We fail to collaborate with, we fail to strengthen one another. Can't compare your progress to another individual's success. Here's what you got to realize. Nobody can beat you being you. Come on, family, type I'm unique. I'm unique. I'm so unique that I need to stay in my lane. I'm so unique that I need to run my race. If you don't stay in your own lane, I guarantee you're going to crash. Scripture says this: when you compare yourself with others, in so doing, you are not wise. I take my eyes off the prize. I take my eyes off what it is that I need to be focusing on. I'm not focused on my focus. I'm distracted, and hear me, distraction leads to destruction. Taking your eyes off of your progress and off of your purpose always hinders your progress. Family, in the midst of the special message, we going deeper so that we can go higher. In the midst of the special message, I got a special message for you. Don't touch that dial. I need you to stick and stay. Yeah, more breakthroughs on the other side of this break. More's coming your way after these messages. I'll be right back. Family, listen and lean in. Don't you think it's time to grow your greatness? No, seriously, it's just us talking. If you intend to soar, you need to visit theeaglesacademy.com/store. Why? Because I want you to join my mailing list. I want you to get all the solutions, the strategies, and the systems to write that best-selling book. You know it's in you. You know it's your time. Time to cultivate your communication skills. Develop, learn the art of communication. So much more. Visit theeaglesacademy.com/store so you can soar. Yes, y'all. And we don't stop. Need you to make sure that you heed to these resources that you heard. Let's get back to the word. We're talking about marriage-minded man, preparing for your purpose partner. And here's what I often hear. Often hear the phrase, behind every great man is a great woman. And I know it sounds good. Sounds amazing for some of us. But here's the thing. The phraseology is utterly wrong. Yeah, the phraseology is totally wrong. Because it's not behind, but beside every great man is a great woman. That's what it is. Not behind, but beside. I find it intriguing that God did not create the woman from the skull. She didn't create the woman from the skull of the man so that she could usurp his authority. God didn't create the woman from the plantar bone of the man's foot so he could step on her. No, God didn't even create the woman from the man's vertebral column, from his backside, so he could be in front of her. However, this is what God did. God created the woman from the man's rib, which is what? From the side of his anatomical structure. Yeah, I took a little bit of anatomy and physiology in college. Why did God do that? Simply because a woman was created to be your helpmate. And here it is, be right by your side. Not for her to usurp your authority, be above you. Not for her to be behind you. Not for her to be below you, but for her to be beside you. Are you following me? And here's what we need to understand as men. This is something that we need to understand as men. As men, we need to understand this. You don't have to be in front of a woman, a leader. Yeah. Let me help you here. Bruh, you can still lead her if she has more money, if she makes more money and she has more education than you do. Yes, you can. Leadership is not monetary. Leadership is not more so book study. If you have a vision, you can lead her. You can walk hand in hand with her. Sis, you can walk hand in hand with your man right by your side. Real man doesn't want his woman behind him. He wants her beside him. Come on, family. Type beside. Beside. Even through the tough times, even through the test, even through the trials. Sis, you are his rib. And here's what it means. When you are that man's rib, this is what it means. You ought to make his life a little bit easier. You ought to make him breathe easier. What are you doing to make that man's life a little bit easier? Bro, you know you got the right rib when you can breathe a lot easier. If she making you suffocate, she making you cough and hack and wheeze and sneeze, suffering from asphyxia, that ain't the right one. Does she relieve the level of stress? Do you relieve her stress? Are you both stress relievers one to another? Because here's the thing. One of the greatest causes and indicators for disease is not just poor appetite. It's poor stress levels. Stress is connected to cancer. Stress is connected to high blood pressure. Stress is connected to brain aneurysms. Are you a headache or a helpmate? Ooh. Are you a headache or are you an aspirin? I'm just asking. What are you doing to relieve the stress from each other? In words and in deeds, in how you communicate, in what you say. Are you marriage-minded enough as a man to make sound decisions and choices, moving into a place of greater preparation, right beside each other? A woman with the qualities of a wife. Yes, she's successful, but more than anything, she's helpful. One thing that we got to realize, us as brothers, we got to realize this, that the woman is designed to support you. She sees life from a different view and from a different lens and from a different angle and panoramically for a reason. As you're looking at things linear, as you're looking at things just straight ahead, and this is what it is, so on and so forth. As a matter of fact, thinking about just the facts, she's bringing the feelings into the place. She's bringing the feelings into play. She's bringing the details into play. She's bringing all of these ideas and intelligence and creative abilities to be a supportive system, a support structure to your vision. Her perspective is one that should be helpful. And here's the thing. A lot of us as men, we don't like that word. Come on, family, type help. Help. One of the last few things that we want as men is help. From finding the destination when we're driving, to picking up a heavy item, to locating what we've lost. What do we say? I got this. I'm good. I figured out. I don't need no help. Simply because oftentimes we receive help or see help as weakness. But here's what support is. A helpmate is supportive. Support is strength. When your purpose partner desires to assist you, you got to allow her to do that. Do you have a receptive ear to hear her perspective? And not just see her perspective as something that is punishing you, not just see her perspective as something that is supposed to be nagging, but here's the thing. Her perspective comes with a prophetic word. Her perspective comes with ingenuity. Her perspective comes with creativity. Her perspective comes with identity. Her perspective comes with prophecy. Are you following me? And here's the thing. When you don't let the ego go, you can't grow with who God has for you. Come on, family, type it. Let the ego go. Let the ego go. If you're going to grow, you got to let the ego go. You got to let the ego go in your singleness before you try to let it go in your togetherness. Because whoever you are in your singleness will either lead to a marital bless or a marital mess. Whoever you are in your singleness will show up in your togetherness. Did you get to that particular place where you're in your purpose, where you're in divine alignment with your divine assignment, being a covenant companion, being able to lead, being able to love your wife as a strong husband. Family, type strong husband. Strong husband. What's a strong husband going to do? He's going to be able to pray because he knows he's got to be the priest of his home. He can provide. He's got a vision that will now lead to provision. He can protect. Yeah, physically, but also protecting your heart. Protecting you with emotional intelligence. Being able to tap in empathetically. Are you hearing me? Family, type pray, provide, and protect. Type pray, provide, protect. The question that we are not asked as men, and here's what we do. Isn't it interesting that you can sign a marriage license without ever getting any training? Yeah, you can sign a marriage license and make premarital counseling optional if you want to. To get a driver's license, you got a test on the road. To get your CDL, commercial driver license. Yeah, commercial driver's license. You got to test yourself because you don't drive an SUV like you do an 18-wheeler. So just because you got your driver's license with your Hyundai or your Camry or your Toyota or your big body Benz, don't mean that you can handle a truck with or without a load on it. But here's the thing. There is no test for a marriage license. Could it possibly be the reason why the divorce rate is so high? Because we haven't figured out a way to test and see if somebody actually qualifies to be married. It's on-the-job training. It's on-the-job training. It don't matter how much advice you get from somebody about marriage. They don't live with them. They don't live with you. You don't live with them. The question is for us as men, and even for the women out there too, are you tried, tested, and approved to be a husband? Come on, marriage-minded man. I'm talking to you. My dear sister from another mister, are you tried, tested, and true to be a wife? Don't seem like it's a test for it. But here's the thing. What I realize is that a faith never tested can't be trusted. A marriage never tested can't be trusted. A man pursuing the life of a husband, a man pursuing the life of being a married man, gotta be prepared to pray. Why? Because the way that the enemy tries to attack you in your singleness is different than how he attacks you in your togetherness. Why? Because the enemy hates partnership. He hates companionship. Because he understands this. One can chase 1,000, two can chase 10,000. Ooh, you mean it multiplies by that much? It ain't no 2 times 1 is 2. Ain't none of that. No. One can chase 1,000, two can chase 10,000. Exponential increase when I connect with the purpose partner that God has for me. So here's what I gotta be. I gotta be prayed up. Gotta be able to protect. Gotta be able to provide. I have to be able to be the priest of my home. And here's the thing. You'll never be the priest of your home with her if you're not the priest of your home by yourself. There's the test. How are you operating in your unmarried state now? Because guess what it is? It's a preview, coming attraction, trailer, sneak peek of what it is that is to come. Leadership ability is key. Come on, family, type leadership. You crying about fellowship, but do you have any leadership? Well, she ain't following me, man. It's always something. Where's your leadership at? Can't be mad about fellowship if you don't even know where you're going as a quote unquote leader. Leader, lead her. Come on, family, type that. Leader, lead her. You prayed together, but you won't pray together? Help me, somebody. The math ain't mathing. You pray together, but you won't pray together. If you're a leader, you got to lead her. Family, drop a super chat, super sticker. We're having a super conversation right here. Up in here. We are. If you're not a YouTube member of this channel, tap the join button on this channel. Tap the join button. Unlock VIP OQP royalty. Hit the thumbs up button on this video. Hit the thumbs up button. Yeah. If you're a leader, you got to lead her. How do I lead her as a leader? How do I lead her as a leader? This is what I got to do. I got to have a vision. Everything begins with vision. Why is that? Because your vision is a pictorial image. Your vision is purpose in pictures. Is what I saw greater than what I'm seeing right now? Then that means I need to step out of what I see and I need to press towards what I saw. This is how I see myself in the future. How do I grow into this version of me that I see 6 months down the line, that I see a year down the line, that I see 6 years down the line, that I see 50 years down the line? How do I grow into this version? What will I do now to become that man, to become that marriage-minded man, to become that heroic husband, to be that faithful father? Yeah, the one that you may not have seen. The one that you didn't necessarily get a great example of in your life, bruh. The one that you were reaching for, but you could never grasp. The one that you really didn't see too many images of. You saw players and you saw pimps and you saw drug pushers, but you didn't see too many presidents. And I'm not talking about in the White House. Talking about in the boardroom, talking about in communities, talking about Fortune 500 CEOs. Saddest indictment for many of us as men, we never interact with a judge unless you're being sentenced. Never connect with a police officer unless you're being handcuffed. You never had a positive experience with a lawyer unless you needed representation for an accusation or a crime that you committed. So here's what we become. Now, rather than being a marriage-minded man, we become a myopic-minded man. We don't think big, we just think small. We think that vision is only for yesteryear, was only for our grandfathers and our grandmothers and our great-grandfathers and our great-grandmothers. But no, God is doing something in you and through you. God is doing something in the hearts and in the minds and the spirits and the soul of a new generation of men. He's restoring what you may not have seen. He's giving you grace for what seemingly put you out of place. He's course correcting some things. He's softening your heart to not be so hardened. But here it is, to be a husband. Ooh, let me talk to you. God is softening your heart to be a husband. Yeah, because the world made you believe. The world made you think that you couldn't trust nobody. The world made you think that love was that something that was just so evasive. The world made you think that she's only after your money and she don't see nothing else of value that you can provide. Sis, I need you to understand that the value of a man is about more than what's in his pocket. The value of a man is about more than what's in his wallet. The value of a man is about more than what he can just do for you. But it's about who he is to you. How he can nurture, how he can pray, how he can protect, how he can provide beyond that which is monetary. Does he provide a safe space? Does he provide healing for your heart? Does he provide as a person who is a listener? Does he provide somebody as someone who is compassionate and has a heart to heal, to give, to invest his time? Simply because he realizes the value of you as a daughter. Yeah, he recognized your value as a mother. He recognized your value as a sister. He recognized your value as one of God's divinely designed daughters, knowing that you've been divinely designed with a purpose in mind. And so what God is doing, he's maturing the man. That's what he's doing. He's maturing the man in his mind, in his spirit, in his heart to manage, to maintain, to manifest, to use God's manual. He's maturing the man to be emotionally available. He's maturing the man to be emotionally intelligent. He's maturing you as a man to express love. He's maturing you as a man to be faithful. He's maturing you as a man to protect, to be vulnerable, to provide, so that you can meet the needs knowing that that woman needs you, your children need you, your spouse needs you, we need you to go to a greater level and a greater dimension. Come on, family. Type successful marriages. Yeah, family, type it. Successful marriages. Successful marriage. Successful marriage. That's what's happening. That's what God is doing. That's what's happening in your life. Successful marriage. I don't care what the statistics say. God's doing success not only in your finances, but He's preparing you for the successful marriage soon to come one day. This is a great place to sow. It's a great place to sow because you sow where you go, you sow where you grow. Once you sow where you soar. Once you get a seed in your hand that says, yes, I'm sowing into healthy marriages. I'm sowing into successful marriages. Sowing into mine. I'm sowing into what it is that I'm believing. I'm sowing into my purpose partner. Yeah, because a marriage-minded man understands this. He can't expect a purpose partner if he has not first partnered with his purpose. God's maturing the man so that he can do life with you. As you're sowing your seed, I want you to name your seed. You can sow via super chat. You can sow via super sticker. It's not as a debt that you owe. It is a seed that you sow. I want you to go ahead and sow right now. You can sow electronically. $access identity. You can sow. Yeah, electronically. Cash App, $access identity, PayPal. You can sow via Zelle, EddieConnorJr, Gmail. Absolutely, you can do that. Super chat, super sticker. You can sow there as well. You can sow here as well. Here's the thing, the links are in the chat. Links are in the description. Links are in the chat and in the description of this video for where you can sow. I want you to name your seed as you're sowing your seed. It's not as a debt that you owe. It is a seed that you sow. Seed time and harvest. Maybe you're naming your seed as you name it. As you claim it, you're naming your seed marriage. You're naming your seed healthy marriage. Maybe you're naming your seed healed husband. Maybe you're naming your seed wise wife. Healed husband, wise wife. I don't know what you're naming your seed, but here's what I want you to do. And here's what I want to do. I want to make sure as you're sowing that you're growing even where it is that you're sowing. And I want you to join your faith. I want to join my faith to yours as you sow that seed, that God meets the need. Healed husband, wise wife. I don't know who I'm talking to, but I know I'm talking to you. God's going to do it for you. Maybe you're sowing a $5 seed. Maybe you're sowing a $50 seed. I don't know what level you're sowing on. I believe it's going to be exceeding abundantly above all that you can ask, much less even think. God's doing it. Marriage-minded man, you're becoming it. Family, I hope you got something from this. Did this bless you today? Did this bless you today? Yeah, I hope it blessed you. Hope it blessed you. Hope it gave you a lot of love in your heart. And it resurrected, in many cases, what may have died in your mind. It's for you. God's developing it for you. If you're not a part of our Eagles community, family, join us. Join us. Teaching you what I don't teach here. And so you want to be there. Where's there? TheEaglesAcademy.com. Yep, TheEaglesAcademy.com. Join me there. Empowered, authentically gifted leaders envisioning success. This isn't just a community. It's your launching pad to rise to another level. Greater success, purpose, opportunities. If you're ready to board your flight to your future, I want you to go right now to TheEaglesAcademy.com. When you get there, tap the Join Now button. Fill out the form. I guarantee you're going to be transformed. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. If you're not a member of our YouTube channel, come on, tap the join button. Become a member of our YouTube channel. Unlock VIP, unlock royalty, unlock OQP, exclusive behind the scenes content, members only discounts, Connor's Corner content. Yeah, I like that. Be a part of that. Connor's Corner content. Be a part of that. It's going to be absolutely amazing for you. Family in the mix is out of time, but I'm not out of truth. So I want to thank you for rocking with me. I want to thank you for riding with me. I want to thank you for rolling with me. Why? Because that's just how we roll. And we do that each and every single weekday, Monday through Friday, for In the Mix, right here on the YouTube side. Would you make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe? Hit the notification bell as well. Yeah, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok. We don't stop. At EddieConnorJr. Put some respect on my name. EddieConnorJr. If I can help you, if I can serve you in any way, please reach out to me. If you're looking for a speaker, yeah, invite me. Looking for a dynamic speaker, invite me. Yes, yes, yes. And I would be honored to empower you at your church, your conference, your community center, your school, your graduation, your session. Come on, let's make some progression. Invite me now. Email me, info@EddieConnor.com. Yours truly, Dr. Eddie, your main man, 100 grand, your brother, and I mean that, from another mother. Family, it's been fun, but you know, brother, gotta run. But I want you to know it's been a privilege and a pleasure, a treat and a treasure, a joy beyond measure. But I want you, yes, you, to remember to keep the faith and believe it's going to be bigger, better, brighter, peace, and a whole lot of love. Keep soaring higher. So what's your ETA? Your destiny is waiting for you to launch into your next dimension. You know, I realize one of the greatest gifts that a teacher can give you is speed. What do I mean? They can take what they've learned in decades and give it to you in days, moments, and months, and give it to you and instruct you in minutes. This is exactly what I do in my Eagles community. I want you to go to TheEaglesAcademy.com right now to get access to my private mentorship group where I coach, teach, train, mentor you to transform your thinking by increasing your ideas, your impact, and your influence. You need to know that you were created to soar into more and become more. I want to be your coach. I want to be your tour guide to help you to navigate the landscape of your potential and take you to a place within yourself that you can't go by yourself. It's your time to move into new realms of abundance, to reimagine, reshape, rethink your life, and influence your future through your spiritual gifts, development of your purpose, the emotional intelligence, relational intelligence, business acumen, to maximize your marketplace mandate, and so much more. And our Eagles community is where we learn, we lead, we laugh, and we love on a greater level. I want you to aspire higher with us. Get your wings to win, and let's soar into more at TheEaglesAcademy.com. Can't wait to see your face in our digital space.